Know it all, or at least know enough. Calgary Today with Angela Kokott.
Brought to you by Universal Lincoln on 770 CHQR.
Well, I have a special guest in studio, Connie-fucius, and we are on Facebook Live, so you can actually check out Connie-fucius. Also goes by the name. Can I use your real name?
Yes.
Okay, Lee Kwong. She is a well-known writer here in Calgary. Dale, tell me about Connie-fucius. Why have you brought this character into our studio?
Well, I contacted you because Connie is doing 10-minute plays on Stephen Avenue Mall, and it's part of a larger project where Jane's Walk, which does tours throughout the city in the month of May. They tried a different thing this year. They had 10-minute plays along Stephen Avenue, and it was like a 90-minute tour, and there was like 4 or 5 stops. And it went so well, they decided to hire some people for the summer. So every Wednesday at 3 and Saturdays at noon, if you go to the Conversation Statues by Hudson's Bay, you can catch a monologue there. There's 2 actresses who play the wives of the 2 guys in the conversation.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the conversation.
And then there's a couple other acts. There's a guy who's Bob Edwards from the Calgary Herald. He does a monologue down by the Glenbow, which is by the Calgary Herald Gargoyles.
And where do we find Connie then?
Connie-fucius will be located, she's the last stop on the tour, the next 3 tours. And I'll be beside Milestones. And I run a little quiz. It's a new play I've written up. It's just tiny. It's like Connie-fucius Presents, Come On Down to Chinatown. Yeehaw! Chinese Canadian girl, cowgirl.
Yes.
And I'll be asking the audience some trivia questions about Chinese history, Chinese Canadian culture, and specifically Calgary's Chinatown.
And so you're going to put me on the spot here and put me through the same thing. So it's a chance for people to find out more about Chinatown in our city.
Yes.
And the history
the
of
other
it.
thing is, well, I used to do tours in Chinatown. I still do once a year, the first Friday night in May for Jane's Walk. But I get a lot of requests for tours. So I took all that information and I put it into a little booklet that was published by Loft 112. It's called Discovering YYC Chinatown. It has a list of all the murals. There's more than 10 murals in Chinatown, places to eat, places to shop, the history of Chinatown, where you can find Chinese opera on Friday nights if you want to go drop in.
All in this great little book.
Yes.
And so in your little 10-minute play, you ask the audience questions.
Yes.
And someone who gets the most correct answers will win a book.
They get a gong. I throw a lucky candy at them.
Good.
And then whoever has the most candies at the end wins a tour book.
We've got a couple of minutes left here. So why don't you run through a couple of questions and see what little I know about Calgary's Chinatown.
So specifically Calgary's Chinatown?
Well, yeah, you just pretend I'm your audience.
Start off with how many, true or false, Calgary has had more than 1 Chinatown?
I'd say true.
True, yes. Calgary has had 3 Chinatowns. Do you know where the first and second Chinatowns were located?
East and west of the current
Oh,
one.
I forgot your gong.
Oh, my God. Okay.
and I have to throw a candy.
She took my eye out with the candy. Okay, so where were the other ones?
The first Chinatown is where the new library is located, behind City Hall.
Yeah.
The second one, because of the railroad, they moved it. The second one is actually behind the Calgary Tower, approximately where the mustard seed is.
Oh.
So, quote unquote, the other side of the tracks.
Ah, yeah.
Now, the second Chinatown experienced something in the 1910s that was common across North America in Chinatowns. There was high rents because they didn't own the land, and a fire. Now, those fires oftentimes were arson. The one in Calgary was not claimed as arson, but who knows for
Right.
sure. The Chinese said, well, we've got to find our own safe, secure Chinatown and be able to control our rent. So 10 Chinese businessmen pooled their money and bought what building in Chinatown?
Loxane. I don't know. I don't know if that is a building.
That was a really good effort. No.
Which one did they buy?
They bought the Canton Block, which is that brick building on Centre Street with the really narrow sidewalks.
Yeah.
And the reason why that'll probably never get torn down is they would have new building codes and would lose a lot of square footage.
Wow. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm running out of time,
Okay.
Connie.
What famous Calgary alderman tried to stop them from owning that?
This has to go a ways
There was
back.
a school named after him, and now it's a parkade in Chinatown.
The James Short.
That is correct.
Do I get another candy?
James Short lived where The Chinese Cultural Center is located right now, and he didn't want his property values to go down.
Connie, before we run out of time,
Yes.
so the next one is this Wednesday, correct?
Yes, Wednesday
at 8 o'clock.
3.
Oh, sorry, 3 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read this very quickly
Wednesday
here.
at 3 at the Conversation Statue, Saturday at noon
That's
for the
it.
rest of the month.
Perfect. And is there a website people can go to or something?
There's a Facebook page, 10-minute plays for Jane's Walk on Stephen Avenue Mall.
Perfect. Connie, thanks so much for coming in. We're way out of time, and I'm enjoying these candies. Time now.